Well, you know, Professor, I could go on like this, drifting and dreaming forever. What a day. Spring in the air.
Oh, me? I should spring in the air and fall in the lake?
Oh, Professor, you're full of whimsy.
Good morning, and welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. I am Worship Associate Maureen Daly, and I am joined in facilitating this service by Worship Associate Jim Merrill. Our minister, the Reverend Dana Warsnop, is away from the pulpit today. Today's service will feature church members Kappy Paulson, Mike Duffy, Laurie Lemson, Mike Sixbey, and Mark Mendelsohn, sharing poetry and perspectives on the coming of spring, from the points of view of a pagan, an Irish poet, a butterfly gardener, an avid hiker, and a natural scientist. No matter how you are joining us today, in person or via the wonders of technology, whether you walked, rolled, or skipped into the sanctuary, we are glad you are here as we gather to celebrate once again. We are a community of many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders. All are welcome here. We preface our service by acknowledging that our building rests on the unceded ancestral homelands of the Chumash people. As this sacred land returns to new life, let us strive to care for that land and for all the lands and for all the people who live on them. We thank those of you sitting in the section of seats nearest the open windows for wearing masks. That is much appreciated by those who are more comfortable among others who are also masked. We have some announcements today. We are hosting the 2024 Pacific Southwest Service Area Assembly here at UUCV next month, April 26th through 28th. You can go online to register and attend, including a concert by Emma's Revolution. UUCV also seeks delegates for Camp de Benneville Pines Camp's annual meeting. Check with Jim Merrill for additional information. Registration for de Benneville Pines events is open. Reverend Dana will be on board as the minister for the Summers Family Camp, so sign up now. Like birds or just the outdoors, Chris and Deb will be leading a bird walk at Lake Casitas, March 23rd. See UUCV this week for details. They will also lead a field trip to the Ventura Settling Ponds for registrants of the PSWSA Assembly, April 27th. The Ventura Botanical Gardens offers free admission on the spring equinox, Tuesday, March 19th. Details about these and other upcoming events are in our weekly email bulletin, UUCV This Week. Now, bring with you what is yours: a burdened heart, a joyous song, a seeking mind, a spirit that is weary or eager to serve. And let us enter sacred space.
I am Worship Associate Jim Merrill. I invite those who are Zooming or streaming into the service to light a chalice or candle at home as Maureen lights the chalice of our free faith here in the sanctuary. Our opening words this morning come to us, mirthfully, from Birthright Unitarian E.E. Cummings. In just spring, when the world is mud luscious, the little lame balloon man whistles far and whee, and Eddie and Bill come running from marbles and piracies, and it's spring, when the world is puddle wonderful. The queer old balloon man whistles far and wee, and Betty and Isabel come dancing from hopscotch and jump rope, and it's spring, and the goat-footed balloon man whistles far and wee. Come, let us worship and celebrate together.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, I'm Zach, filling in for Carolyn. We're going to be singing number 38, Morning Has Broken. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the womb. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, from incompletion of a new day.
And now I might call the young at heart, and for today, the green at heart, to come up forward. And if you'd like, you could sit next to a blanket. Today's story is an interactive story, so I'm going to kind of be up and down. And I invite you all to kind of join in as you feel, as your body moves you to do so. So we're going to pretend today to be seeds. Okay, so if you would start sitting down kind of a little tight, and if you have a blanket, you could wrap it around you, but don't cover your head because we want to see your faces. And let's just imagine that you're under the ground. Okay? It's spring, and spring means that it's time for seeds to grow into flowers. But what do you need? What do seeds need to make them grow? Anybody have any? Water and sun. So sunshine is very important, very important. And why do plants want sunlight? Why do they grow toward the sun? It gives them food, it gives them energy. That's right. So in the spring, there's more sunshine. That's going to help us all grow. So let's pretend we're seeds, okay, and feel the warmth, feel the sunshine, okay. And somebody else said that seeds need water, okay? So let's imagine there's rain from the sky, okay? Feel the drip drop on your head and all over your body, okay? And drink that water, drink that rain that comes down. And seeds also need the air. They need cool breezes, okay? Blowing across the earth and the fields That's it. Oh, feel that gentle wind. Okay, it goes whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Okay, and soon the seed begins to crack open. Okay, and a tiny little sprout inside the seed begins to grow and grow and grow. And you can grow too if you want. Grow. And feel your roots digging into the earth. And you're getting taller and taller and taller. Oh, what beautiful flowers. Can you tell me what color your petals are? Go ahead. Shout it out. Green. Yellow. Yellow and purple. Isn't it magic the way plants can grow because of the sunlight, the air, and water? Well, people grow too. Every day, we grow from the food that we eat, and also from the ideas that we learn, and also the feelings that we feel. So every day we grow, and today we're going to rise in the center aisle here as we sing the children out as they weave themselves into the air, into the water, and the nourishment that we receive from you all, sending your sunshine and energy along the way. Let's sing the children.
We hold you in our love as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
Every Sunday, this congregation shows its love by giving away the entire collection. These funds help an organization in the larger community or in our own church or aids members of our congregation when they are in need. Folks at home can give through the link posted in the Zoom chat, or by texting from your phone to the number on the screen. Those of you present in the sanctuary can also text to give, or you can drop cash or a check in the basket at the back of the sanctuary after the service. Our offering today goes to our spiritual home in the mountains, Camp de Benneville Pines, which is bursting now with new spring growth. Here's what Zena Kingshill, who nominated camp for this offering, had to say about it. Everyone who has been to camp returns home a new person, whether child, youth, young adult, or more mature adult. Shared living space in cabins with perfectly good bunk beds, not tents, with other UUs, and with nature at your doorstep. It's tough to duplicate anywhere else. Children who are taken to camp often view it as their home away from home. And many UU children remember their days at camp more fondly than their days at church. Pick a camp. There are many to choose from, offering a variety of themes, and go to that same camp more than once. Before you know it, you will have friends from other UU churches, and the feeling of home or belonging, and possibly some great moments of awe. Our offering today will support camp financially to help cover staff salaries and regular maintenance of the facilities. And you can also become a monthly donor if you wish. Thanks for giving generously, as you always do.
My blood doth rise in the roots of yon oak. Her hands on my veins. landless my soul, like the open sky, where the stars forever have lain. Where the stars, where the stars, where the stars forever have lain. My hands hold the weavings of time without end. My sight as deep as the sea. Beating my heart sounds the measures of old, that of love's eternity. That of love, that of love, that of love's eternity. I feel the tides as they answer the moon, rushing on a far distant sand. Winging my song is the breast of my wind, and my love blows over the land. And my love, and my love, and my love blows over the land. My foot carries days of the old into new. Our dreaming shows us the way. Faith settles deep in the earth, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green, rising green to bring a new day.
We are so grateful for the generosity of this congregation, which helps us weave a tapestry of love we call community.
When we come together each week, we take time to share the great joys and sorrows that grace our lives. We place a stone in water as each is shared, and the ripples go out to represent the way that something that touches the heart of one of us travels throughout the community to touch us all. You can submit a joy or a sorrow for sharing via a link on the website, uuventura.org, or a link in our Thursday email bulletin, UUCV This Week. I invite you now to speak into the gathered community or write into the Zoom chat the names of those you wish to celebrate, memorialize, or bring into the loving embrace of this beloved community. Maureen will now place one final stone in the water for all the joys and sorrows just shared or yet unspoken in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be truly grateful for all that is our life.
We invite you all to remain seated if you wish as we sing number 61, our meditation hymn, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again. Lo, the earth awakes again, hallelujah, from the winter's bond and pain, hallelujah.
Good morning. We had an active Covenant of UU Pagans group here at UUCV for about 15 years. Like all good UUs, we were an eclectic group of members of different earth-based practices. Some were Wiccans, some focused on the goddess, some practiced Native American religions. None of us practiced exactly the same beliefs that we shared with we did share the beautiful rituals throughout the calendar year. We all strove to become more aware of the sun's daily, monthly, and annual trajectory across the sky, and along with the 13 lunar cycles we experienced in the year. We strove to become more aware of this magnificent earth that we live on and the natural world. We strove to include daily rituals in our lives. One of my favorite tiny rituals happens when I pick up the newspaper in the morning. I stop for a minute, well, probably 15 seconds, and breathe in the fresh morning air. It is different then than it is at 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. Another is during the two most active meteor shower times of the year. I go into my backyard all bundled up in December, and in August I go searching for dark skies. I do wish we had less light pollution. Of course, Cup celebrated the equinoxes and solstice, and often the cross quarters, Imbolc in January, Beltane in May, Lunasa in August, and Samhain, I always get this wrong, in October. These cross quarters were generated from the Celtic or Northern European tradition. Our Northern Hemisphere spring equinox is around March 23rd, but remember, the spring equinox in south of the equator is around September 22nd. So clearly, seasonal celebrations are fluid depending on where you live. Yowster is an Anglo-Saxon deity, the goddess of fertility, rebirth, and renewal, new beginnings. It's the time of balance between the dark nights and the light days. The holidays start the beginning of a new life. We call this celebration Oestra. Does that sound familiar? The northern world is waking up with grasses and flowers are starting to grow. When I was a kiddo, the bright yellow forsythia bush in the corner of our front lawn was when first things popped out into color, and then the crocuses and my favorite, the lilies of the valley. Last week, I took a walk in Arroyo Verde Park, and the flowers, mostly yellow, were just coming out. The peak cherry blossom bloom in Washington, D.C. is this week, I think. How does the natural world know when it's time to wake up after its winter's rest and regeneration? Oh, it's a miracle. But scientifically, I know, and still, it's mystical and magical time of year. Baby animals are being born. Hummingbirds in Kathy Powell's backyard are flying away. Do you know where do you think chocolate bunnies and peeps come from? What will you do in this time of renewal? This year, I plan to do some spring cleaning in my craft room. For no other reason, to save my kids from having to do it when I'm gone. Maybe you'll start a garden from seedlings. Maybe you'll make simple dyed eggs, or even paisinkies, the beautiful decorated Ukrainian or Lithuanian eggs, or something in between. I encourage each of you to create a new intention and to start or refresh an older one.
So I'm looking around and seeing a lot of green in the room today. I think we need to acknowledge it's St. Patrick's Day. And of course, many of us have heard that St. Patrick was responsible for driving the snakes out of Ireland, which never had snakes. So I believe that in bringing Christianity to Ireland, he was credited with driving some other beliefs out that he may not have completely successfully driven out. And now, speaking of Ireland, Michael Duffy has agreed to share a poem with us.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. As Jim said, St. Patrick drove the snakes from Ireland and introduced Christianity. So I've often thought, but I rarely said it aloud, that if I was there, possibly I would have asked to remain pagan, but I didn't get the choice. So here we are. So I'm going to read a poem called Spring by Frances Ledwith. First of all, I just want to acknowledge real quickly that Erica, my wife, cousin Alison, and the kids, Gracie and Merda, thank you for helping me rehearse this poem. Very much appreciate you tolerating me. I also want to thank Gracie for turning this font, it's microscopic for those that can't see it, into this. Yay. Thank you, Gracie. And finally, but most importantly, I really want to thank Meredith and Gracie for my St. Patrick's Day decorations, which, as you all know me, this is really me, yes. Okay. When you're in Ireland in St. Patrick's Day in my time, you'd wear some shamrock you'd pluck out of the garden, and that was it, so, yay. So, thank you. So, this poem, again, is Spring by Frances Ledwith, and thank you, Jim, for asking me to read this and finding it for me. So Ledwidge was born in 1887 in County Meath. He was a poet and Irish nationalist, enlisted in the British Army in World War I, and was killed in 1917 in Passchendaele, Belgium. So Spring by Frances Ledwidge. Once more the lark with song and speed cleaves through the dawn. His hurried bars fall, like the flute of Ganymede, twirling and whistling from the stars. The primrose and the daffodil surprise the valleys, and while thyme is sweet on every little hill, when lambs come down at folding time. In every wild place now is heard the magpie's noisy house, and through the mingled tunes of many a bird the ruffled wood dove's gentle coo. Sweet by the river's noisy brink, the water lily bursts her crown. The kingfisher comes down to drink, like rainbow jewels falling down. And when the blue and gray entwine, the daisy shuts her golden eye, and peace wraps all those hills of mine, safe in my dearest memory.
I will top of the morning to y'all. It's a fair day for a fair, so I won't be foul on such a fair day. I looked high and low for a nice Irish song to sing for some special music today. But most of the Irish songs I know are either political or not fit for mixed company. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, well, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. So sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Stars in the sky, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, well, you know how I feel. Yeah, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. It's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
So how can I not after that? I was asked to speak about my love for gardening, and I had to confess, I'm not really an avid gardener. I'm an avid butterfly nurturer. My interest in the garden began like 5 or 6 years ago when Cal Kingsmith, she was one of my students in RE then, she came running to tell me that there were caterpillars on the sidewalk getting stepped on. Well, the student was the teacher that day, and Cal taught me that they were monarch caterpillars and that they needed milkweed. All the existing milkweed in the garden had been cut down, and so the caterpillars were frantically searching for food. Cal and I, being true UU warriors for the earth, leapt into action. We jumped in the car and went to Green Thumb and bought some plants, some milkweed plants, and we put them in the garden and watched with delight as the caterpillars literally feasted on them. And the UUC butterfly garden literally grew from that moment on. Since I knew absolutely nothing about gardening or about plants, I approached it as if the plants were my intubated patients in ICU. They couldn't talk, so I had to intuit what they needed. I laughed at myself. I found myself talking to them like, what do you need? What do you want? How can I make you happy? So I took some classes and spent many hours learning how to make a pollinator garden thrive. But the most valuable lessons for me came from just being there, just watching and listening and wondering, a lot of wondering and questioning. I had the privilege of witnessing butterflies laying their eggs, attaching one single egg to the bottom of each leaf so that the caterpillars wouldn't have to fight for food. They each had, their mom gave them each their own leaf. The eggs hatch in 3 to 5 days, and the tiny new caterpillar then spends the next 2 weeks devouring 10 to 30 milkweed leaves per day, increasing its body mass by 2,000 times its original weight, and shedding its skin 5 times before it is ready to transform. Probably the most wondrous thing I have witnessed is that final transformation from caterpillar to chrysalis. The caterpillar hangs in an upside-down J formation, and during the 24 hours it hangs like that, a miracle happens. And no matter how many times I have witnessed it, I can't even believe what I've seen. The caterpillar relaxes, it straightens out, and then it starts to wiggle back and forth until the skin on its head splits and peels away like someone shrugging off an old coat, revealing a chrysalis underneath. This only takes about 3 minutes. Then the chrysalis hardens, becomes opaque, and a ridge of gold and jewels appear on the upper portion facing the sun. I watch it with my own eyes, and I still can't believe what I've seen. Like, what just happened? And so March is a time of year the western monarchs leave their overwintering sites, heading inland in search of milkweed for their eggs. Yesterday, when I was working in the garden, I saw my first monarch of the year. I was amazed because I had just the day before planted 3 new milkweed plants, and they were only 2 inches tall, so how in the heck did she find them? It was amazing. Do you remember the Victory Gardens of World War II? Like them, a pollinator garden helps to cover food shortages, only this time for insects. Thanks to us humans, monarchs are facing extinction. Even in the best of times, only 1 in 10 caterpillars make it to the butterfly stage. They need our help. Our UUCV butterfly garden is, I believe, a perfect way to help take care of our earth and to let our children learn that they can be part of that effort. As spring arrives, I look forward to the return of the butterflies and the opportunity to just be there with them, watching, listening, wondering, questioning. Thank you.
Jim asked me to reflect on the coming of spring, critically and spiritually. I will reflect on the spiritual aspect, flowers. Flowers are what I will reflect about, and honeybee eyes, and my creator. Flowers nourish my soul and feed my eyes. I will show you 41 slides. I tried, I really did. But I couldn't find fewer. Flowers nourish, okay. Please enjoy. I will read a poem I wrote about a year ago, and many of the slides that you will see are from UU hiker outings. Some are from our own yard and a trail near our home. My poem is titled, Honeybee Eyes. In her creation, I find my creator. She is very beautiful. She fills my eyes with her honey. I have honeybee eyes. In the backcountry, far from my comfortable home, I find her everywhere. She is lovely. I have honeybee eyes. I search for my creator in wilderness. She lures me like a honeybee to a flower. I am drawn to her great beauty. I have honeybee eyes. When I put these slides together, I thought to myself, all of these beautiful flowers, which bring me such joy, and have withered and died. And I was sad. Flowers are ephemeral, fleeting and fragile, almost like snowflakes. And then I thought, yes, but they're seeds. They are blowing in the wind. They are everywhere. Flowers will be with us forever. Spring is rebirth and renewal. Spring is my favorite season. Flowers are the best part of spring. When the last slide shows, I have asked our magic people behind the wall back there to leave it on the screen longer than the others, I want you to imagine that honeybee is me. Or even better, imagine it is you. Imagine you are visiting the most luscious flower you have ever seen. Imagine it is a balmy spring day. Imagine this flower is located on a beautiful, gorgeous, sunny hillside. Use your honeybee imagination. You are exactly where you are meant to be. You are doing exactly what you were made to do. You are humming a honeybee tune. You wear a honeybee smile and a golden honeybee robe. Your pockets are full of pollen for your beloved queen. You are in that special moment called now. All is well in the world. Sweet honey is on your mind. You are happy. You are at peace. Thank you.
Mike's poem and images were like a meditation, weren't they? Let's all now take a moment for quiet reflection or meditation. Place your feet flat on the floor, close your eyes or soften your gaze, and breathe in and out naturally. Perhaps you will revisit the images of flowers. Perhaps you will draw up your own images of spring. Perhaps you will see yourself as a honeybee. Perhaps something else that you need. Let us breathe together in silence.
Good morning. Can we hear more about flowers? Is that okay? Okay. I always welcome spring. To me, the vernal equinox brings several events and feelings. My principal excitement comes thinking about how the wildflowers are getting ready to pop.
Spring here often means we've had recent rains to freshen our soils and plants, and also that we don't have too many more rainy days ahead to deal with. I love when rain falls over our area because it feeds a thirsty land that doesn't get much of a drink for nearly 6 months. However, I'm also ready for the rain to subside because that means I can get out in nature more and the wildflowers bloom with more sun and warmth. My job as a botanist for the Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area may be closely tied to the spring bloom, and that's part of what makes this time of year important to me. It's deeper than just my occupation, though. Seeing the green hills of sage and chaparral, the verdant grass and purple lupins and orange poppies and pink prickly phlox and white and yellow lilies, they make my heart soar. It's the revival. It's earth purring, I'm back. It was a good sleep, a good drink. Come, observe me, study me, enjoy me, but please, leave me as you find me. What's more, the bird communities change with the coming spring. The white-crowned sparrows, ruby-crowned kinglets, and yellow-rumped warblers migrate away with their winter chirps and just occasional songs, while the ash-throated flycatchers, lazuli buntings, and black-headed grosbeaks settle onto our hills from their distant lands, sharing their perky and melodious tunes. Even the emergence of rattlesnakes and other serpents in March makes me smile and grounds me in our planet's present position relative to the sun. The awakening of ticks may please me less so. Nonetheless, it reminds me of the time of year and to respect the risks of working and playing outside, to prepare myself, my family, my team to move around them in harmony. Autumn equinox is pretty special too. Cooler temperatures and rain not far away, windswept clear skies, baby lizard season. However, it's the vernal equinox that stands alone as the turning point that makes me sigh with relief. Baseball season is just starting rather than ending. The plants and animals are refreshed and ready to party, and so am I.
Thank you, Mark. We are grateful to Kappy, to Mike Duffy, to Laurie, to Mike Sixbey, Mark, and of course, Zach, for helping create this service. And we are grateful for the turning of the seasons, bringing us spring each year. Zach, will you take us home?
We'll take you home. We have one more song to sing. You all know this one. This is Blue Boat Home. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting companions, all we kindred pilgrims stole, making our way by the lights of the heaven in my beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great wind surging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky that sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Please join me in reading the words on the screen as we prepare to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment, those we carry into our lives until we are together again. An Irish blessing. May the blessing of light be upon you, light without and light within. May the blessed sunshine shine on you and warm your heart until it glows like a great peat fire, so that the stranger may come and warm himself, and also a friend. And may the light shine out of the two eyes of you, like a candle set in two windows of a house, bidding the wanderer to come in out of the storm. May the blessing of the rain be on you, the soft, sweet rain. May it fall upon your spirit so that all the flowers may spring up and shed their sweetness on the air. And may the blessing of the earth be on you, the great round earth. May it be so.
Thank you.